Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Insight Exchange Show. This is a project born out of the incredible folks in the Inside Quest Exchange community on Facebook, a group created by fans of the formerly Inside Quest show hosted by Tom Bilyeu, which has now turned into an amazing company called Impact Theory. Check them out on the interwebs. Since the creation of the group, it has become an astonishing place for open-minded learners from all over the world to congregate and exchange ideas, insights, and amazing experiences with each other and to help each other become the best version of themselves. Here with me today is a guy on the fast lane to some serious success. This New Yorker is not only an account executive at a super cool marketing agency, but he's also a startup co-founder of a real estate company called Reall Investors. Not only that, but this law student is on a journey to become a freaking mixologist. He's making wild stuff all the time and bound and determined to become a world-class mixologist, which is pretty wild. Also, he's been a frequent contributor in the Inside Quest Exchange community, the IQX community, and the value he's brought to all of us has not gone unnoticed. Indeed, he's helped me plenty behind the scenes, just getting this show going, and for that, I'm truly grateful, man. All right, let's mix it up with a guy whose name makes me think he should have been on The Sopranos. Enter Joseph Savino. What's going on,
Hello.
man?
How you doing, Travis? It's great to be here. I'm excited for the question.
I'm excited to ask you, and I want you to just kind of dive right into this. There are some things that that I know that you know that could provide a lot of value, but I think this might be something that people want to think about. So you mentioned to me in our conversation prior to this that you journal every day. And then you write down whether your day was a win or a loss, and then you explain why. I've also, in my journaling experience, written down like every day I would take 5 minutes to like do like a morning journaling, whether it would be writing down like here are my 3 goals today, and here are the things I'm grateful for, and then just like express a little bit of gratitude, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
When it comes to choosing whether your day was a win or loss, like that very particular thing is fascinating to me. How has this helped you level up your life, and like do you think others should do something like this?
How do I think it's leveled up my life? Well, yeah, absolutely. I think everyone should be tracking their daily activities, number one, because what gets measured gets managed. That's something that I hear way too much. And how do I level up from it? Well, it's I write loss, and we were talking about this before, is I'll write why it was a loss. And I'll get really detailed, and it's usually something very specific. At the end of the month, I will go back into my journal and I'll look at every single day, and I'll tally all the wins, the losses, and all the days that are unaccountable. Sometimes I forget to write it, or because I do it at night when I write my wins and losses, and I make sure I take note of all the days I was unaccountable, which I kind of consider a loss. But and I'll go over the why, and usually it'll remind me of the one area in my life that I have continued to fail on, and it'll be a reminder that looking forward, I need to just keep that in the back of my mind, because the idea behind the journal win or loss ratio is to improve the win and loss ratio. It's to get more wins and less losses. And so I've kind of made it this game, this fun, measurable way of seeing growth in myself. So that's where the real value comes. It's not it's not an everyday thing, because when I have a win, it's not like I learned something. But it's when I have those losses is really when I learn something. And it's on those monthly time spans when I go back and look at everything. I also do that yearly as well at the end of every year. I've been doing that for a few years. 2 years. It's not like that many, but still counts, right?
Absolutely, man.
Absolutely. I think everyone should be doing this, tracking their daily habits. And also in my journal, below the wins and losses, whenever I have a task, I write if I got it done or not. So I do that as well, and I go over the tasks at the end of every month. I say, I remember putting this off way too long. I have to make sure that I don't put something like that off again, because that plays into the loss, and things like that. Yeah.
It's not to be self-deprecating either. It's to learn, right? It's to take the real honest self-examination of yourself and say, okay, I didn't do this thing. I'm not that good at it. How can I get better at it so that way I can count if I do this again? How can I count another day as a win later on? Or how could I have won this day if I had just done this differently, right? I mean, can you?
Yeah.
And you don't have to answer this, but can you give an example of a day you considered a loss, and because I'm trying to.
Yeah. I actually have my journal holding up my laptop, so
okay.
It's gonna kind of.
I know it's a little personal, but I think this might help a lot of people make that decision. Okay. Go for it.
All right, so I just recently had a loss. Actually, yesterday I had a loss. We were talking about this before. I don't know. Let me see if I can find another one, because you already know about that one. So
yeah.
Just hold on a second. Nope, those are unaccountable. Wow, got a lot of wins.
And you can nice.
There we go.
But you can. Okay.
I got one. This isn't very specific. I wish I was a little bit more specific here, but February 9th, it was a Thursday. I lost the day. I have on the bottom that I slept too much in the. I think I remember this. I slept too much in the morning. I had over 9 hours of sleep where I just slept in. It just wasn't necessary as a weekday. I try and save that for the weekend if I'm gonna sleep in. I guess I went out the night before or something, and I drank too much, and it affected the day because I am a mixologist, not an alcoholic. I'm a mixologist, and so I deal with alcohol. It's my job,
Right.
It's like my career to taste the drinks that I make, and so sometimes I'll get carried away with that, or I'll be out at a fancy high class bar, and I'll order. They're just so good, and so it's such an experience. Some of those cocktails that I'll have one too many, or I'll allow my friends to buy me a shot, and instead of not taking it and giving it to someone else, I'll take it. Things like that. Or I ate too much unhealthy food. I actually did eat. I have it right here. I ate too much unhealthy food. I ate a bag of chips.
Yeah.
I try and stay away from that as much as I can and have one cheat day. If I'm gonna have a cheat day, have one. But not during Thursday wasn't my cheat day, and I cheated, and so I made sure that I made note of that. So that's an example, and you can see loss. I don't know if you can see loss at the top there.
Yeah, I can.
Here, yeah. So.
Wow.
That's an example right there.
Yeah, that discipline, no slack, man. That's and that's.
No.
I found too that if I sleep in, if I have a day where I sleep in, it was 15, 20 minutes, half hour, fine. But like an hour or two or whatever,
Yep.
It derails the rest of the day for me.
Oh yeah,
it does. Like, and that discipline is so important to maintain, especially when you're trying to do all this stuff that like people like you and I are trying to accomplish all like the level. You have to maintain that discipline. As Jocko Willink says, discipline equals freedom, and it's so true. It's so absolutely true. Like the minute you start slacking on stuff, the whole thing just falls apart. And I totally get why that was it lost for you. It was totally like if it were me, it would have been lost for me too. Like I totally get that. And we're all human. We're gonna it happens where we slip up and it's just get back on the train. And that it really helps to have that journal and you're writing that down. And you're being honest with yourself. and giving yourself that insight.
I think
So
one
good.
one
I love
thing that because when you hear the word journal, I'll say it kind of sounds like at least when I was younger, now I kind of don't see it as much, but it sounds like a feminine thing to do. I don't know if that's a problem from men to keep a journal.
Well, you could say diary would be probably
diary is the one, is
the
the feminine version, right?
Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that if that's your excuse, then I mean that's holding you back.
Yeah, it's garbage. Sorry.
It's a garbage excuse.
Yeah.
Garbage excuse. You gotta own your imperfections, and if you consider that an imperfection, own it.
Hey man, Doug Funny journaled. You remember that show, Doug? Yeah. I remember
Doug.
You'd start the show like all the time. Dear Journal, like come on, we're good to go.
Good to go.
Oh, man. All right. This has been a blast show. I want to be cognizant of your time. Is there any last insights that you want to leave these fine folks with?
Let me give you a quote that I happen to have been loving lately.
Love quotes. Let's do it.
Yes. It was by Lisa Nichols, and it was in her Inside Quest video, and I made sure I took a note. I just changed my notebooks around. So
I gotta prepare to brace myself for this.
It's amazing.
Put my seatbelt on.
Okay, here it is. So, if you can own your brilliance while also owning your imperfections, if you can own your giant while owning your smallness, if you can live in duality constantly, the freedom is earth-shaking. And I love that word, duality. I think that's the key word in that entire quote. One of my most favorite quotes by her.
Oh man, that is awesome. It's so true. Everybody, let that sink in for a second, and really think about that, because that's life. That's people. It's being human.
Yeah.
Own your duality. Own your dichotomies. Own your contradictions. Own the whole thing. It's incredible. It's so powerful. And if you have not seen that Lisa Nichols episode, as soon as you're done with this, just take an hour of your time. Trust me, it's worth it. Yeah. Tom Bilyeu says 4 words in that entire thing, and there's a reason.
There's a reason for it. Yeah.
Yeah. After his intro, it's just like she's incredible. There was one thing that she said that really got me was that, and I got to paraphrase a little bit, but she said something like, "Let your light shine." And don't worry about anybody else. Let them put shades on. Let your light shine. I love that.
She's so cool.
That hit me like a brick, man. So, all right.
Yeah.
Community.
Yeah.
What's that? That was a
pleasure, Travis.
Thank you so much, Joe. This is so much fun. I think we're gonna have to do a round 2 sometime. There's a bunch of stuff I want to ask you, so this is gonna be a blast. Thank you to the community out there. You guys are awesome. Check out IQX on Facebook. Just type in Inside Quest Exchange. You will find many amazing people just like Joseph Savino here today. And until next time, this is a weekly show, so please subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button, and that outro is coming. I'm gonna write it one day, but today, I'm just gonna say goodbye.
Take care, Travis.
See you soon, man.